Good morning and welcome to Unity, spirituality with open hearts and open minds. And we're so thrilled because David is back from Unity Village. Woohoo! And we thank Bianca for platforming so beautifully in his absence. And this morning, I am so thrilled we have Diane and Ida for music. Woo! Just seeing them sit there makes my heart sing. The music is even more so, but just your presence blesses us. So thank you. Oh, and so we honor that divine spark in one and in all of life. And we begin our service with singing Come Light, Light of God, which just reminds us to welcome an awareness of the ever-present light of the divine in us, in others, and in our world. So get your candles ready, those of you on Zoom, because we are equally present with one another in heart, whether we are sitting here or here in spirit. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. And that presence comes in, through, and as us as we live our unity mantra. We are an authentic, transformative, spiritual community centered in God. We co-create a world that works for all. And I love that last piece, centered in God. What do we do when we get centered? We co-create, but we consciously do it with a world that works for all. I think it's about time we manifest that. Don't you agree? So we do manifest that through who and what we are, and through an awareness of the presence of the divine all around us, even when it's a bit hidden in shadow. It is ever and always there. So I invite you to stand and sing one of my favorite songs, Open My Eyes That I May See. The presence is there. We just need to become more aware. Other favorite, surely the presence. This we used to sing almost every morning in ministerial school. And so it is. Please be seated. And I've got to say, it was absolutely wonderful to hear Glenn's voice leading us. Yay, Glenn! Woo!
Good morning, everybody. And greetings from Unity Village. So, for those that haven't been there, the place is magical, and it's transformational, not only for those of us that were on the grounds, but transformational in terms of the Unity movement, what's going on a much grander scale. And I'm happy to report there's a lot of good things happening. And later on, I'll talk about that for those that are interested. But so we had a work week. I was on the paint crew, which is kind of what I've been there this is about my 15th time back. And it's the 41st Nehemiah retreat. So I want to back you up a little bit. About 2008 or so, the campus transformed. So this, I'll make this short, Pam. I want to put it in context. So this whole thing started in the 1920s. Anyway, the campus was a teaching college, and it was a Unity School of Spiritual, Unity School. Oh, But yeah, that was the code name. But
USRS.
It's a Unity
Institute.
School of Practical Christianity. That's what I'm trying to get to. But religious studies, yes. Okay, and the whole deal was not to create ministers. The whole deal of this thing started out, Philbers didn't have anything to do with it, want to make a church. They wanted people to be in their own churches and understand the higher reality of the spiritual system that we live, move, and operate within, and know the presence of God. That was their thing. Ultimately, as time moved forward, it turned into a church. We became formalized, and this teaching became more formalized. But it wasn't started out that way. It started out as how do we work with the Spirit within to heal, to transform, to transmute. Anyway, as the studies moved offline, or moved online, off campus, then the campus mission started to fall apart. We didn't have the people there to support the structure, the infrastructure, which is absolutely gorgeous and phenomenal. And I will do some slideshows sometimes for you so you can really see what this place is like. So, and it got to the place that where they were unable to do just the general maintenance, let alone heavy maintenance, that's required when you have 300 or 400 structures. The Bridge of Faith, which is a bridge going between two reflective ponds, caved in. And that was the wake-up call. That was the wake-up call. And it is about consciousness. It was all about consciousness. And the church had lost its center. I mean, the facility had lost its center, lost its kind of why we are even here, why we have all this stuff here, right? Now, from the teaching standpoint, that didn't change, but from the physical stuff, that changed. And it was a guy named Tom Lee, Reverend Tom Lee. He was he had a construction background, architecture, and he created this thing called a Nehemiah retreat. Nehemiah was the guy that went to Jerusalem and rebuilt the walls, out of the biblical story, okay? So, the same thing. Now, Nehemiah was told in a vision to go build the wall. What he really understood, Spirit saying, go rebuild the spirit and the consciousness of the people while you fix the wall and make Jerusalem that habitation of peace that it's designed to be. So that was the start of this Nehemiah thing. And now we fast forward 41 Nehemiahs later. We took on a house that was Charles and Cora. Myrtle passed away, and Charles married his secretary, it turns out. and continued on with some of his writings towards his later years. So anyway, it was their house that was built. And so we were scraped, primed, painted, and walked away. At the closing of all the Nehemiah retreats, they make a big concrete paver. And each of us has the opportunity to find a stone or something that represents your time there, and then place it in the concrete while it's still wet. And then those pavers there's a whole garden of these things. There's 41 of them now. And they put them out, and so everybody's kind of got their thing. I found this stone here, and if you want, later you can come up and take a look at it. There's a face of a human and a face of an animal right next to it. Now, the Native Americans would say, or Native indigenous people says, that the rocks and stones are the wisdom keepers of the planet. They've been around the longest. And so when you have one that reveals itself to you, like when you go out on the beach and find a heart stone, you go, okay, that's spirit working through the stone to the wisdom keepers, so that you know that we're here keeping track of things, and that all things were created by a single creator. I was going to put that stone in the concrete, and Teresa Lee, which is Tom's wife, Tom passed away and is his widower. Teresa Lee was in our group. She's kind of the facilitator, make sure we get treats and that kind of stuff. And she goes, "Oh, that rock's too big. You just can't put that rock in there. You can't put that rock in there." And I go, "Teresa, I can put that rock in there." "No, you can't put that rock in there." So I said, "Okay." And I walked out. I mean, we're in what they call the casting shed, so it's just, it's industrial kind of part of the campus. Walked out, and there was a whole pile of rubble, and I grabbed a rock, and I came back. And so we're in a circle. We're saying, "Okay, how is this significant?" Well, it was just a rock, right? So I go, this has absolutely no significance to me. Didn't call my name. I didn't see it and go like, that's the rock I got to have. It has no relationship to all the work I did. But this rock is not insignificant. Not to itself and not to the planet. So I stuck that in the cement because I was thinking about all of us and all of God's creation, but all of us. We are not insignificant. We have meaning and opportunities, and we create part of the whole. We're not here by accident. We're here on purpose, for a divine purpose, as a matter of fact. But, so this rock, I thought, okay, I mean, you think of some person that's down on their luck, they're homeless. They're just as significant as somebody that is wealthy and has all sorts of means. They're just as significant as you and I. Different path. Sometimes we can help out, sometimes we can't. But we certainly have a duty to understand that the spirit within them is the same spirit that's with everybody else. And with that, we'll do the daily word. The daily word is appreciation. Oops. I appreciate the good in my life. Just feel that. I appreciate the good in my life. All that's come to me, all that goes through me, all my acquaintances, the sunny day, all of the things that make you feel good. I appreciate the good in my life. When someone admires my efforts or thanks me for something helpful that I've done, I'm happy to know I have blessed them. Recognizing how good it feels to be appreciated, I remember to express my gratitude and appreciation to people who have blessed me. I appreciate my friends and family by nurturing those relationships. I appreciate my community by being a responsible citizen. I appreciate the natural beauty of the world by caring for it and taking time to enjoy it. The people, the places, the things that I appreciate become more precious to me as I discovered that each reflects God's presence. And God's activity is a uniquely beautiful thing to see. I am grateful to have so much to appreciate. And from Romans, love one another with mutual affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. I appreciate all the good in my life. And so it is. Amen.
Oh, what a wonderful daily word. So settle into that deep sense of appreciation and gratitude as we settle in together in that inner divine spot at the core of each one of our beings, sitting in the midst of soul companions who walk this path with us through all of its ups and downs and ins and outs. Let us unite our voices in singing Sanctuary as we link outer and inner places of presence. Sanctuary. Prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you. Just settle in for a moment, allowing your inner sanctuary to welcome you and to form itself all around you, above you and below you, and lit by the light from within you. The presence of the divine all around, and in the unfolding of the journey of your soul through this experience we call life. Take a moment and be in gratitude for this holy moment. Of all the places each one of us could have been, we were guided to be present together, bringing our love and our blessings, our peace and our compassion into this moment. And so feel the presence of the divine dancing all around you. Feel the energies of Mother Earth nourishing and sustaining us on this journey of life. Feel Father Sky above with lights by day and by night and by breezes that stir and awaken and inspire us. All around the beauty of nature in its infinite forms of mountain and forest and sea and sky. The elementals of earth and fire and water and air creating this amazing planet with its kingdoms of minerals and plants and animals and people and spiritual presences, guides, and angels. Realize that you are blessed and blessing, and you never walk alone, for you are one with this amazing creation. Take a moment and be in gratitude for all that has gone before that has brought you to this moment. The things that were comfortable, the things that were uncomfortable, the challenges, the blessings, the celebrations, the tears, the laughter, all of it that brought you to this moment. Be willing to be in gratitude. For all of this has created the spiritually aware being you are now. Be in gratitude again for your life exactly as it is and yourself exactly as you are. And being grateful that even in the challenges, the presence of the divine is there, bringing new insights and gifts and compassions as that spirit shines forth through all of this world. And in this moment, be at peace as you open to do whatever your next step is, to experience whatever lies before you on this continued unfolding journey. And consciously in this moment, send forth your willingness to walk with the presence of the divine in gratitude and grace to the best of your being as you move forward from this moment. Return now to this holy moment, this place of sanctuary, this time of Sabbath. And in this moment, bring all of the prayers that are yours this day, for yourself, others, people near, people far, our community, our nation, our world, and the spiritual realms beyond. Offer now with loving consciousness, intention, and gentle, compassionate surrender all of the prayers that are yours this day. Unity of Port Townsend, her coming trip, lanes. And now we welcome in all of the prayers entrusted to the High Watch prayer chaplains. And we unite in prayers for peace with all of those who pray for peace all around the world in this moment. We unite together in co-creating a world that works for all, centering in that divine presence by whatever name each may call it. Prepare now to regather your life and to go forth renewed, restored, and rededicated. And as a gift upon your soul and your soul journey and your unfolding life, receive the prayer of Saint Teresa of Lisieux, and let one of these lines shine for you and be like a mantra for you this day and in the coming week. May today there be peace within. May you trust your higher power, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith. May you use those gifts you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. May you be content knowing you are a child of God. Let this presence settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing and to dance. It is there for each and every one of you. And knowing this, we each go forth blessed and blessing to do that which is ours to do for the betterment of all, knowing that our prayers and our presence will unfold at highest and best for all in right and perfect time when we align with this knowingness and this presence. Let us link inner and outer as once again we unite our voices in sanctuary. And so it is, amen, and blessed be. And now a gift of special music, the Lord's Prayer, with Ida on violin and Diane on the piano. beautiful. Oh, made my heart sing to see you all playing together again. Just wonderful. Thank you. Oh, isn't that a beautiful way to receive the Lord's Prayer? Because we know the words, but this holds the energy of that prayer and what it represents. And it begins with our Father, not mine or yours, but our. And that promise of the presence of the divine in the midst of everything. And that beautiful piece of music captures, I think, the essence and flow of that divine presence in a way that transcends words. So thank you. Oh, what a lovely way to start. Oh, we're doing a series this year, and we'll go into next year, that's about transformational love. It's recognizing that at the very heart of the Christian message, there is simply one message, that we love. It's the greatest commandment. We're reminded to love with every aspect of our being, body, mind, heart, and soul. We're reminded to love ourselves and others, even those we disagree with and would call enemies. That presence of love, we tend to think of it as a Hallmark card, but it's actually the most powerful spiritual creative energy of the universe. Just think back on your life and how the key moments in your life, you can usually attach them to an experience of love. The presence of that divine, wonderful energy of co-creativity. Sometimes it takes years to process that and to discover that that presence of love has been there all the way along in forms we may or may not have seen. We're using the book, The Love Has 7 Colors by Jack Angelo, who's also written a wonderful book on Magdalene that I'm studying right now. And Love Has 7 Colors ties into the fact that love is meant to not just be held captive in one place. Love is the expressive, creative energy at every level of being. And so he takes us, beginning with grounding, up through the chakras. Carolyn Mace is on our journey as well. She not only talks about the chakras, but she overlays the Kabbalah, the Jewish mystical tradition, and then the Christian ritual traditions and sacraments, and how they are those same energies dancing. Rabbi Shonai Lebowitz did a book called Miraculous Living. We're bringing in her ideas of the Kabbalah as well, and centering it all in A Course of Love. That is a book that has fairly recently emerged that some say is a follow-up to A Course in Miracles that taught us how to rethink things. This is telling us how to re-love things. And so we started and we did the grounding chakra, and then we came up through the creative chakra, and today we're in the solar plexus, the third chakra. Solar plexus, place of power, place of your own sense of identity. And it's said that the first 3 chakras, Carolyn May said the first 3 chakras are more about the outer world, and then the next 4 are about the inner world in process. As I've worked with the Kabbalah and the chakras and all of these systems all of these years, I have a slightly different take. I believe those 3 are our connections to the outer world, but Tiferet, the heart, is the bridge. And then the upper three are that inner awareness of energies and how do we work with them. But all of those, from the very base all the way up to your crown and beyond, are all divine energies. Grounding is a divine energy. Opening to infinity is a divine energy. It's all about living the presence. And the chakras and the gates of the Kabbalah remind us that these different energetic centers are part of what Unity and the Charles Fillmore called the 12 powers. He called it the 12 powers of man. We'd now say the 12 powers of humanity, I think. But you have to remember when the books were written. And so we're come up, and each one of these has a mantra. And one of the things that I love is to see the three and then the bridge and then the three has a real sense of balance. The other thing that I love that Jack Angelo speaks of that I had forgotten about, that I came across years ago in my studies, is that on the bottoms of our feet are open chakras of light, places of light, and in the palms of our hands. It's not by accident that when we give blessings, we do this. It's radiating out of the palms of our hands. When you do healing touch, you almost always do it with your hands radiating light and love and healing. And I love that because the light at our feet is reminding us to be fully present. The light in our hands is reminding us to reach out and be present with our unique spark of divine light in the ways that only we can because of the uniqueness of our soul. It's what Jesus talked about with heaven and earth. It's all present at the same moment. Last night, Eileen Meyer was here and did an amazing meditation and process last night. And with that, she talked about there's the natural grid of creation, and then the one that we've created out of fear with our minds and sense of separation, and that we've been living in this outer appearance of things, which is really a false grid. Beneath it, within it, behind it, is the spiritual grid that was created at the beginning. And in the Hebrew scripture, it was all created, and the divine says it's good. It's all blessed and blessing. Nature, all of us are blessed and blessing. And when we have the ability to recognize that we are living in a dimension that has a visible grid, but also an invisible grid that's becoming more and more visible to us now. We're becoming more aware of the spiritual energies that underpin things. We're beginning to become more aware that we are here to walk side by side with one another, to transform ourselves and our world into an awareness that that presence of the divine is in everything from grounding all the way up into the sky. The solar plexus is one of energy and power, and I found myself thinking about the solar eclipse we had recently. And in that solar eclipse, that bright orb in the sky got completely covered in the path of totality, completely covered. And they said the temperature dropped, and it's dark, but there's this eerie, wonderful, magical light on the edge of the horizon of the sky. And then it shifts, and the corona, the edge of the corona, I think they called it the engagement ring, where there's a little spark of light that comes. And everybody was in awe as it took place, and then the cheers when the light returned. And the thing that I loved, I stood and I watched it in front of the television, starting in Mazatlan, Mexico, I think it was. And I was in tears just standing in front of the television. I wasn't there, but I was. Because with our spirits, we can be anywhere. And the thing that struck me the most was that as it went across different nations, North America, people were standing in common, sharing this experience. Nobody said, "What religion are you? What political persuasion are you? I won't stand next to you if you're not one of my kind." We were all in awe. And I really think there was a gift in that for us to remember that even in times where we can't necessarily see that peace, that oneness, that light of the divine, that we can still know it's there. And every moment a little spark shimmers, we can celebrate it. Because recognizing that we're co-creating together is part of what this is all about. The tribal root chakra's mantra was all is one, recognizing we're part of this incredible matrix of life. The partnership or sacral creative one is honor one another. It's commune with another, allowing each to be who they are without expectations. And then the solar plexus today is honor oneself. Honor one's self. The solar center, Jack says, is the largest of the 7 energy centers, and it's the vibrant powerhouse of mind and emotion. Just as the planet Earth revolves around the sun, so does human life revolve around the activities of the solar center. This center is the scene of a great battle that's been going on for thousands of years between fear and love, between mind and heart and soul, between the solar center and the heart center that are meant to work together. This center, it's so interesting because people who are resistant to looking for synchronicities, or they won't say I'm intuitive, what's something that everybody can say? I've got a gut feeling. I've got a gut feeling. That is the wisdom of your mind uniting with the wisdom of your heart, meeting and empowering right where you are in the course of your life. Those gut feelings are not just from your gut. That's where they gather to empower and get your attention. But they come from the mind and they come from the heart. This is where we define who we think we are. And it can be something that is a place of being present openly, or it can be a place of fear. And this is where the fear and the sense of lack can come in. The sense, oh, my mind says there's not enough, but my heart tells me to share. That's one of the tensions of this. What do you do with the power that is yours? This reminds me to always look at what am I doing with my energies each day? How am I allowing myself to be empowered from spirit to then go forth and do that which is mine to do? It's the keeper of our vitality. It's solar. It's like the sun. The sun is about the outer movement by day, the moon, the inner processes by night. This is about our outer connection and being present in the world the way we've been sent to be. When we're not connected to our energetic core, We have what he calls mental paralysis, stagnation, and inertia. I've been in that place before. Being a gypsy, I tend not to stay there long, but it's that there are times where we hold on to what was and to our fears and to our resentments, our heartbreaks, rather than allowing us to move through them, learn from them, and let them become part of who we are now, that reminds us we truly are eternal beings having an earthly existence for a divine reason. This is where we can empower forgiveness. Forgiveness is a choice. Forgiveness lets us release the past and our old thoughts, our old ways of doing things, so we can let the light shine on who we are, who others are, what our world is, when we can do it from a new perspective. He says the soul's guidance is to help us recover the real and to follow the way of the heart. The real. We have this amazing sense of illusion that we're separate, that the divine presence may or may not be here. And it is us to make the choice to connect with that divine light. Therein lies real power. And that allows us to disconnect from being trapped in past patterns, past regrets, anger, vengeance. We can take those and say, instead, I choose love. I choose to let the light of the divine shine in this situation and in and through me to bring that divine presence into this moment. He says, because we perceive via the conditioned mind, what we perceive is often an illusion of reality. We each have our own worldview based on what we've been through and where we are now. But the illusion is that we then do not perceive the spiritual reality of the world, of other people, or even of ourselves. The real is what is perceived by the unconditioned, unbiased mind. The soul's guidance is to help us discover the real and to follow the way of the heart. It's acknowledging that, okay, I've been conditioned to look at the world this way and to be in fear, but do I continue to choose that? Every moment is an opportunity to be born anew and to make a different choice. He says the primary purpose of mind is to celebrate the sacred and to bring this to our awareness. In unity, we'd probably say this is mind with a capital M. The primary purpose is to celebrate the sacred and to bring this to our awareness. Neuropsychologists have discovered that our brains are wired to connect to the divine, to something beyond ourselves. We're hardwired for that. We're made for that. The secondary purpose of mind is to bring physical happenings to our awareness. That's the secondary. We tend to live with it backwards. We look at that outer, which is the secondary little mind, rather than looking for what's the soul lesson, what's the spiritual energies that are going on right now. To consciously choose to live in the natural grid of love and blessing rather than the grid of fear and doubt that comes from our misperception, getting caught up in the outer and in the sense of duality. He calls this coming into sacred mind, Isn't that wonderful? Sacred mind. That's where the mind and the heart are working together. And both of those bring us strength and power. Carolyn Mace says, honor oneself is the mantra for that power chakra. She calls it the power chakra. The Kabbalah gates are Hod, which is integrity and gratitude on one side, and Netzah, which is endurance and strength on the other. Endurance and strength come through that solar plexus, but so does integrity and gratitude. Rabbi Shoni Laberwitz calls Hod splendor, justice, and glory, and Netzah eternity, victory, and success. One is about being empowered and strong. The other is about being willing to be flexible. To be in integrity is to allow life to reveal its meaning to you. And the analogy that came to me when I was meditating on this is that in our spiritual level, we are oak and we are willow. An oak tree is strong and solid, and the wind can blow, but the trunk of the tree is there solid. That is a gift, to have the strength of inner self, to be the presence in the world, and to speak your truth even when it's uncomfortable. But on the other hand is the willow that recognizes that strength comes in standing strong, but strength also comes in being willing to allow the universe to unfold in and through and as us. And to not only allow it to be, but to be grateful for that process that is unrigid and unlinear. And I love that at this level of who we are, we have these two ways that we can be present. We can be strong, but we can also bend and meet others and ourselves with gentleness and with grace. That's the balance. When you have two Kabbalah gates across from one another, it's about balancing both energies and not getting totally caught up in one or the other. Dolores Ashcraft Nowicki did a wonderful workshop, and she said Hod, the strength one, are the knowledge gods, and she said Netzah, the willow, are the love goddesses. She said the Kabbalah was God's filing cabinet. And she took us through a workshop where each of the gates has certain gods and goddesses from the world. And I love that on this one, it's the knowledge gods and the love goddesses that are right across and dancing in your solar plexus, your power center, because it's the divine masculine and feminine. It's mind as divine mind and heart as unconditional love. It's about coming into unconditional love. The Magdalene's gospel that has the great tree, this is the third bough that parallels this. And the third bough on her great cosmic tree is that of honor and humility. Honor and strength, humility and flexibility. All these different systems, but they're all reminding us of the same thing. We're here to revision and to reclaim. I believe that those two grids that we were talking about last night and that we've talked about here, it's the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of earth. And we've always tended to see them as separate. That's not what the master way shower Jesus said or what the other spiritual masters said. It's all interwoven in this moment. And it's there to meet you right where you are in the evolving sense of your own spiritual power and willingness to align that with that which is highest and best for all and in right and perfect time. This is the energy that Jesus claimed in the Garden of Gethsemane. And I love that he falls to the ground. And he says, oh, if this can be passed, let it be passed. Oh, do I have to go through this? And then he says, not my will, but thine be done. That's that aligning of that energy center with your higher self, with what's highest and best for all, with the divine presence. And when he dropped to the ground, he connected with all three of those lower chakras and abided on Mother Earth, where those sparks of his feet reminded him that he was present as an eternal spiritual being. And I have no doubt that he reached up like this, kneeling on the earth with palms open to receive the light and then to bring it into his heart so he could then go forth and do that which was his to do, however difficult it was. We can all do that. We can stand here and absolutely celebrate our embodiment and at the same time open to the amazing eternality of our spiritual essence and to see both grids and honor them as interconnected. A Course of Love says, remember, our goal here is to deny the old and accept the new. That solar eclipse reminds us it's a time of shift and change and new possibilities. In this case, the old is the idea of a purposeless existence, a universe with no divine order, in which you are at the mercy of fate. The new idea is that you are asked to accept that existence is purposeful, that the universe exists in divine order, and that your life is part of that divine design. You are not here by accident. And then A Course of Love reminds us of something really important. Do not look for a new structure, someone else to tell you anew what to do. Do not give your keys to a new jailer and then ask to be taken care of in exchange for your newfound freedom. Accept your freedom. Instead, truly see the world anew and rejoice in it. Breathe in the sweet air of freedom. That's the message of love. That's unconditional love. And this is my favorite part. Be aware of the sky above your head and desire no more ceilings to shield you from it. Open. I give you your own authority, an authority you must claim before your externally structured life can become an internally structured life. Let this acceptance of your own authority, the power of your solar plexus, to become the author of your own life. Live it as you are called to live it. You are empowered by this chakra. Shonai Leibowitz called this chakra Manipurna, which is the city of gems. Isn't that wonderful? The city of gems. It's like an inner rainbow of light. It's not by accident that the first covenant between God and humanity is a rainbow. the colors of the chakras, the colors of creation, energetic colors that are distinctively different, and yet when you really look at them, one blends into the next, blends into the next, blends into the next, and it's all light. This is saying, let your own unique shimmering light shine with whatever colors are yours to radiate into the world, and know that you are empowered not by strength of force, but by trusting that you have strength and you have gentleness, and therein lies true power that will let you be present in the world and know you never walk alone. Let us pray. Sweet, sweet Spirit, abiding presence of the divine, we open in willingness to allow ourselves to be present in this world, to be willing to follow the way of the heart, to listen to those gut feelings that are actually soul guidance, and to heal that, to heal at a level of connection that sees this power not as power over, but rather empowered with. It's like in the Hebrew scriptures, humanity was not given dominion, control over the world, as the later translations showed. The original translation is humanity has been entrusted with the world. Entrusted. We are entrusted with our lives, and we go forth with the gift of the tribal root that all is one. We go forth with the blessings of the sacral partnership energy that we can honor one another. And this day we remember the importance of our own soul journey, our power in our solar center that allows us to honor ourselves and be who we've been sent to be. Let us remember to see our lives from the perspective of the spiritual and to celebrate the sacred first, and then notice how it's manifesting in our lives and in our world, in, through, and as us. Honor yourself. Honor yourself. Honor yourself. And know that in this spiritual community, we also honor and celebrate who you are. And it is our honor to walk side by side with you as together we find heaven on earth in, through, and as us. And so it is. Om Ahmed, and blessed be. One of the clearest signs of the presence of God, according to Teilhard de Chardin, is the presence of joy. And that's just something that bubbles up. Happiness is more when something happens that you like, unhappiness when you don't like. Joy is this ineffable connection to the divine. And so we're going to sing Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. I invite you to stand, and as we sing, just let that joy bubble up within you and flow all around you, and send it out as a blessing to the world from us this day. Thank you for letting your light shine. Please be seated.
Well, this is the time in our service where we let our light shine in a little different form. The green light. It's our chance to share our time, talents, treasures together. This is the time we take the offering. So I invite you to take out your offering, hold it in your hands and your heart. And together we will bless it as we do here each Sunday. And let this blessing be a reminder of who and what we are. For we are divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and I receive, and I am grateful. Indeed. Morning has broken like the first morning. Heavens has broken like the first song. Praise for the name, raising the morning. Thanks on the name, light of the sun. Creation for a new day. Ah, sweet, sweet Spirit, Mother, Father, God, thank you for the blessings that are represented in these baskets. Our opportunity to share all that comes through us and share it with those outside of us and toward each other. As the song said, it's a new day. And we are blessed by it. And we receive these gifts and send them forward through our community and across the bigger community and the planet, that each person may rejoice in a new day. One thought away. One opportunity to choose love over fear. That moment when we could lash out, we hold it within. When we get lost, find our center. Those little keys are given to us every single moment. And once we get all of those keys in alignment, wow, we can create heaven on earth. And let us do that in our lifetime. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Great. Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, we have a special guest. Come on, Bianca. Let's see if you're on here.
Hello.
Okay.
So last week, if you may recall, the announcement was all about Cosmic Pick. Remember Cosmic Pick? And we are trying to get people to be more involved with fellowship here at Unity so that the same people don't always make coffee or bring snack or be the greeter. So since not too many people signed up last week, the little basket here has little pieces of paper that say, greeter, I will come early and be a greeter. Or make coffee and bring a snack. Or bring a snack and clean up, so that we can share fellowship across everybody. And as you may recall, Kristen and Carl had lovely fellowship last week for Pam's birthday, and I believe we had a fantastic cake also. And so those are the kinds of things that we're hoping people will take a little note out of this basket. I'm going to pass it around. Cosmic, pick one and see, I'm going to be a greeter someday, or I'm going to make coffee and bring a snack. And out in the foyer is the sign up for the whole next quarter, May, June, and July. And you, once you pick your little thing, you get to go and pick the Sunday that you want. So you pick out the little thing and you say, gee, I'm going to be a greeter on my birthday, which is May 26th, which I will do. And, or I'll be whatever. And so this way, we all get to share in both the joy of eating the snacks and the job of bringing them. And I hope everybody takes this in the lighthearted way that it is mentioned. And if you really don't want to take one, you don't have to, but I would really appreciate it if you would take a little slip and then put your name on things. Thank you.
I love cosmic picks. Now let's see here. Oh, here we go. Now I got to drag this thing out now for the next 15 minutes while we get that basket to the back of the room. So don't leave back there. Yeah. Sure. Hey, Glenn.
A lot of you knew my mom. When I was a kid, we went to Girl Scout camp, and she was one of the leaders. And so people had certain jobs they wanted to do, but not others. Everybody wanted to cook. Nobody wanted to clean up. So there was a cosmic pick every night for what you were going to do the next day. And she made little signs with like a fire on it, and that meant you were going to tend the fire for the day. Another one had a pot and a pan, that meant you were going to cook. Another one had a broom. And so she'd put them in there, and there was something really fun about seeing, okay, I'm going to be fire tender tomorrow. And so when we talked about needing to do this, so my mom, with her humor and her grace, is here smiling on us as we do her Girl Scout camp system of cosmic pick, of contributing to the greater good. So thank you all.
And while we're on the theme of the cosmic pick, so when you're on one of these retreats like I went on, they have a thing where you have a cosmic pick of a prayer partner. And so for that week, that person is praying for what, they have a little slip of paper saying, what is your intention? What do you want me to uphold? What's on your mind? That kind of thing. And so I got a prayer partner, and then I picked a prayer partner. And the prayer partner I picked now is my third one in a row.
Oh.
And how odd is that, right?
Oh, wow.
Third one in a row. Three's a big number anyways. And this lady happens to be on the board at Unity Village. And she's going through her own stuff that she's dealing with. And it was such a delight to see, here we go, third time. And then my prayer partner, praying for me, was a lady named Julian, who I was staying at a house. Julian was staying in the house, and this is the second year in a row that she's gotten me. So anyway, Spirit has this funny way of cosmic pick. I'll tell you, watch out there. You may be you may find your calling in your life. Who knows? So a couple things coming up. On the 25th, we got Crystal Bowl, sound bath back in the Hearth Room from 3 to 4 p.m. on the 25th. 27th, we got a Cure Time with Navatar and the band here. But big one coming up is on May 4th, and that's Richard Russell Group, One World Concert. And the flyers back here on the back table, and I think there's some out in the foyer. It's a fundraiser for us, but it's really, really good music. This is top-notch musicians come together in a One World Concert. And it's 4 to 6 p.m. and May 4th, I think, is a Saturday. So, and then on May 5th, There's a sound bath workshop at 1 p.m. That happens to be Cinco de Mayo, so who knows what the sounds are going to be.
Right. Oh, yeah. A mariachi band.
A mariachi band. And then we're gearing up for Into the Mystic, which is the 20th through the 22nd. So
June.
we'll have more of that. If you haven't had a chance to sign up, I think we have some sign-up sheets out there for you. It's really set up, take down, do some things around here so that we make it an inviting place for people to come in and experience all the different ways the Spirit has a way of communicating with us and through us.
And
Oh,
the sign up for Into the Mystic will be later in May. We'll have all those sign-ups.
okay.
Yep.
And we have one special announcement from James. And when Pam and Lane come back from their big trip, he's going to be doing a special salmon barbecue that day.
Oh, wonderful.
So
Oh,
he is, instead of doing coffee hour, he's going to do a lot more. So,
wow.
so we're going to need a couple people to help him with all of that.
Oh, yum.
And that's going to be in mid-May, right?
Yep,
So
uh-huh.
like May the 20-something. So I'll make sure and mark
Yeah.
on the sheet that it's that day, that's going to be his salmon barbecue.
Yeah.
You can sign up later on, we'll get some.
That's a great way to make sure we come back from our trip.
And we certainly can
Thank
fill
you,
in around
James.
that. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
don't
If
think
not,
so.
why don't we circle up around the perimeter? Oh, I want to remind you of the prayer box in the back of the sanctuary. Your prayer requests will be held by the church for a week. We send them on to Silent Unity. Last week, I got to carry them to Silent Unity for you and put them in the box. And Sharon is here today holding the high watch and is
Yes.
available for personal affirmative prayer following service.
Oliver, Oliver. So we all give a special soul welcome to Oliver. We're so glad he's in our world. Thank you for being channels to bring him to the world. Yes. Born on what? Christmas Day. Oh, wow. The light of the world is shining right over there.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
With blessed and blessing, with joy. Woo! Yay! Yeah, that was great.